Right. Do I have a trigger point, or is it really deep vein thrombosis, or DVT? Do I have either one of those two things in my calf? Even in the trigger point therapy book that I picked up and looked at a little bit, they said that if it's in the calf, if you have the tightness in the calf, all those symptoms, that it could be a DVT, deep vein thrombosis. So people will point to that, but I don't have any redness. I haven't noticed any swelling. And just the factors that have led to this issue really, it doesn't have me convinced that it's a deep vein thrombosis. Now, trigger point can affect blood circulation, all right, because the muscles stiffen up and they'll take up a little extra space by stiffening. But what happened with me is I got two sore knees. Left and right knee were very sore, all right, after consuming that toxic water in Pocatello, Idaho. I drank it fast, and then I got the sore knees, and then that soreness transferred to the left portion of my left calf. All right, and in trigger point therapy, they say trigger points happen in not whole muscle groups, but in partial. The left side, like where the tendon is, too, a little bit where it attaches. Now, how would that happen? Where it would just immediately go to my blood supply and mess with that and cause a blockage in my vein? How would that go to causing a blockage in my vein? Now, there's a couple of ways to test. They say test for the worst first, since the location is in the calf. So you would do an x-ray to look for a blood clot. Now, let's say that there was no blood clot, then what? Sometimes it's hard to even detect a blood clot. What if the doctor doesn't see a blood clot? It's because it's not big enough or something. Well, then I guess to test for a trigger point, you test with an MRI. That's supposed to be able to do it. But the golden method is to test to use the fingers from a trained massage therapist. These people who wrote the book have these strange titles, but it comes down to them being massage therapists. So the fingers, somebody else's professional fingers who knows what this stuff feels like, could feel what it really is. All right, and I don't like assuming the worst. All right, I don't think I'm at that stage yet where I need to just jump and assume the worst. You do that naturally when you get scared, when you get frightened. It's just, oh, the worst things are going through your head. What could happen? Death and destruction and all of that. But taking the lighter approach might work, and then you work scale to the worst case scenario. Oh, jump into the worst case scenario first to test to rule that out. That's convenient for the medical profession because that makes them the money. But I think I prefer the least case scenario. And if I could ever find somebody who specializes in trigger points, that would be nice. But I think I was treating this problem as a deep vein thrombosis issue. And maybe, that's not bad. Having aspirin, keeping cayenne next to me, trying to eat cayenne, but it's not exactly easy. Improving the blood circulation, eating more tomatoes and things that feed the blood. That's important. But also, the pain isn't exactly going away. I put this magnet strap on me. I had to put this tissue in between because it's a leather that I sewed the magnets in, and I put this tissue in between. I've been keeping this on for a while, and it provides a little relief. I feel like I'm bathed, this area is bathed in a little pain relief. It's just a mild painkiller. So what does that say? That there is some, if there's some relief with the magnets, then that's an electrical signal, because magnets focus on electrical signals. I think the most. You're getting the most benefit with the electrical signals. That's acupuncture too. And acupuncture is not much different than magnet therapy. They rely on magnets for kids who are scared of the needle. So I think that it's maybe jumping to assuming a little too much of the worst with deep vein thrombosis. I mean, I swear I'm eating good. I get regular exercise. It doesn't make any sense. I haven't been on any long flights. Yeah, I sleep kind of weird, and I don't get enough opportunities to lay down. But I think that maybe my circulation's still good enough that I can avoid any serious clotting issues. Maybe I do have a bad clotting issue. I don't know. I doubt it. I'm going to focus on this trigger point and see. But the problem is, I don't know what I could do to push on it. I really don't. This calf is in such a bad position. I've tried to push on it in other ways when I get the privacy to do it. And I've found kind of relief. So there's that. But then I abandoned it because the relief wasn't coming fast enough. This is the most intense problem I've had. And I've had something similar to this in my hip. Alright, this happened in my hip about 8 years ago, 2008. Yeah, about 10 years ago. The same thing happened, and I went to a personal trainer. That was when I had money at the time. I only had like 2 sessions with the personal trainer. 1 session with that guy. 1 session with the personal trainer, and that was it, actually. Just a discussion. And it was like a complimentary thing with the gym. It was a 24-hour fitness. And it was like, he wanted to show me all the basic exercises or whatever to do there, because you're allowed this consultation as a part of the fee. And I'm like, no, I got a lot of pain in my hip. Let's talk about that. And he showed me how to push on my hip. I put my foot over my knee, and then I sit on a tennis ball. And I was like, man, that hurts. And he's like, you got to keep doing it. And that's the same with this calf. But I've been having so much difficulty finding ways to really push on it. I can't push on it with my hand. It's hard. I need to be able to push my calf against things to try to push, because that's the only way you work the trigger points. It's not supposed to be good for the deep vein thrombosis. So if I act in a remote possibility had deep vein thrombosis, I could be making things worse. But I think I'll take a gamble on not having deep vein. So that's the catch up on this issue.